they cost?
This was $100 off the marketplace.
Really? That's it?
Mm-hmm. You can get the Zoom, the Zoom HN1.
I need
Pro.
one because I want to start being able to podcast like in a hotel room.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
when I
This
travel.
like
and this takes like no setup.
no,
Just go straight to the computer.
and it
not
takes
even that,
battery,
it can
but like
go,
you can
like-
put. Yeah.
It takes battery, but you can plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
Does the same thing.
It's fire.
I want one.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm about to. You got to give me the name.
Now,
Oh,
the
it's
mics
Zoom.
and stuff that was $35, and it came with an aux that you would have.
Insure's nice.
Well, yeah, everything is amazing about it.
I even have a wireless mic that could plug into this piece, which is funny. I never use it anymore. I have no reason to.
I would say just buying one, like getting one of
No,
those
right,
mics
that's what
and
I'm saying.
hooking it up to this. Easiest, and because you
But
can
I
have
can
up
interview-
to 5
I can
different
interview
things.
anybody.
Exactly.
Like
Anywhere.
HHN. I could literally go to the top of Aventura Bar and have a podcast up there. Could
Yeah,
you
dude.
imagine? Like,
I sat up there for my birthday. I had the lavender liftoff. Yeah, it was good.
but I'm saying, like, think about that. Would I be the first YouTuber to do that?
I would say so. Unless Theme Park Dad and Tim Tracker have
They
already
didn't
gone
do
to-
it. They go in
They better
studio.
not be watching this.
Hey Tim, look, we're buddies, okay? Can you slide me one? Like,
Ooh.
you know, I want to do that first. I think that's
Then
my
let's
goal.
get to it. All right, guys. Welcome to another video. And this video is going to be very different from any of my other videos. As you hear, I've got another voice in my space, but you've only seen me. And I'm in a new studio, but it's not my studio. So please welcome my first ever guest on my first ever podcast video, Journey with Josh.
Woo, 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 woo.
So,
What's up?
we just got done with almost an hour and 15-minute podcast about
No, we said it was like an
hour and a half.
for like 45.
dude, it was a long freaking podcast.
I mean, I had a set list of what I was going to ask you, and we went off track, but not the wrong way. We just created our own track, and it was awesome.
It was a very good talk. So when that comes out, I'll definitely have it up. So just kind of keep paying attention. But that's not what we're talking about here. This is going to be a whole different podcast. I will leave everything to Josh, link below. But for starters, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And why are you here?
Well, first off, I live here, so I kind of stay here. I'm Josh, known as Journey with Josh on basically any social media platform anybody has. I'm probably on, except for Threads or whatever that thing's called. I've been doing with those, you see, I've been doing YouTube for 10 years as of almost a week ago. That's crazy.
That is
to
a
think.
milestone and a half.
Almost 10 years of not knowing what I'm going to do. And then about 2 years ago, I found my niche. And yeah, I've just been living the life.
What do you do? What do you do?
I'm a paranormal investigator. I'm a content creator. I hate the word YouTuber.
Yeah.
I hate that because I'm not just a YouTuber. I'm a content creator. I do vlogs. I now do podcasts. And I just live
What is your
life.
podcast called?
It's Realm of the Dead, paranormal podcast. And honestly, I'm just living life. You know?
Yeah.
I became a full-time content creator almost a year ago.
That's crazy.
I quit. I literally walked out of my job and was like, deuces.
See,
was-
I don't.
and this was-
I can't do that to me.
This was
I can't do that
before.
to myself.
This was before I even had 1,000 subscribers. So I walked out of my
Not even
job.
monetized really to be able to get paid.
No, this was before they changed it to the whole 500 subscriber
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I walked out of my job. I think I only had 930 subscribers. So I didn't even know. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm setting myself a goal. I gave myself 2 months to hit 1,000 subscribers. If I didn't, I have to go get a job again.
Jeez.
Now look at me. 1,400 subscribers, baby.
We'll hit the applause.
Yeah. So just living life.
Cool.
And I live here in my my scary room.
Dude, you guys can't see all of it, but it is.
And it like looks weird on
YouTuber room.
It does kind of like look weird on camera because the way I have it set up is because I only normally ever film literally in this one little corner. So there are some like dead spots because like I see it in my camera. There's like a dead spot right here, and I promise you that's because none of this is normally ever filmed. But yeah, it's cool. I was able to create my own space. I'm gonna start gaming soon. I'm gonna start Twitch streaming. I'm gonna be doing Phasmophobia and all the horror games.
Ooh, Markiplier, watch out!
Hey yo,
watch out!
Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, watch out, man!
Watch out, y'all!
Coming for you. No, I'm just
1,400 to 1,400 subscribers.
Hey, I'm still coming for you. No, but yeah, I'm just living life, man.
Cool.
Thanks for having me on too, because I know I sound exhausted. We literally have been filming.
So
like crazy.
That's kind of what all of this podcast is going to be. It's going to just be artists and different content creators kind of explaining mainly their side of things, because I mean, I describe myself as hardworking and stuff, but there's a lot of things that a lot of content creators do that require more time and effort to be put in. And I think paranormal investigation is one of them, because just like, say, cinematography, you're finding that location. So in a sense, I can kind of say it is a lot of hard work, but I don't want to say that. I want my guests to explain the struggles of actually coming up and kind of seeing that struggle of, we see people our age doing stuff and being paid millions. So
yeah.
So how does that affect you? How does it show motivation? What?
So I'll start off by saying that being in 2 different communities as a content creator is probably the most exhausting thing ever. And I don't know how many other YouTubers are in more than one community. I have the paranormal community, I have the theme park community, and I have technically the haunt community, because the haunt community is completely different than the theme park community. So being in 3 different communities means 3 different types of filming, 3 different types of, like art, 3 different types of brain stimulation. So I constantly am staying exhausted because I'm constantly just going. And I put that on myself, so don't make it seem like, oh, whoa, oh, Josh, no, don't do it. No, I do it because I love it. But, so for me, paranormal, it takes me months to prepare a week-long trip. It takes me months, That doesn't include doing the history and then everything else after the trip. This is just planning on where to go, figuring out who you want to go with, if you want to go solo, how far you want to go, how many days you want to go, like all the big major stuff. And then you get into the history, which could take another 2 weeks to completely actually get it correct, because there's so many different websites. There's so many different, people telling you this, that, and the other. And then there's the editing. If I want to be good with my editing on a paranormal video, and I'm not calling anybody out, like I'm not saying everybody else is bad. For me personally, I have to take at least 3 weeks to edit to make me feel happy.
Yeah.
One video. But I have friends that post once a week, so they're constantly editing, but they also stay up later. Mm-hmm. So that was,
and they're not focusing on, say, 3 different things like haunts,
right? But I was also
parks.
Going to bring up that I still technically live a normal life. I have to take my girlfriend to work at 8 a.m. every morning. So if I'm on my computer till editing till 2 a.m., I'm not going to bed till I get back home from taking her at 11 a.m. So like so I still live a normal life still, I don't have a
It's your 9 to 5. Right. It's your 9 to 5.
Right. So yeah, a lot of my friends in the paranormal community don't have the 2 other communities that I have, and a lot of them don't have to do normal day-to-day things all the time. But I do have some friends that still work a 9 to 5 and investigate and, film and edit and everything.
Yeah.
On top of all of it. And I give them props. But make sure you're going into it, doing it because you love it, not because you're seeing everybody else do it. Like you were saying, we see people our age making millions. If you go in it because you see that, there's no success for you. I'm sorry.
You're looking at the goal as in I want that money rather than I have a passion for this project. I like to see how it looks.
I'm looking at both. When I look, I go,
what is it worth?
I'm like, what is it worth to get to there? Mm-hmm. What do I have to give up that I don't need to get there?
A big thing is a sacrifice, yeah.
What don't I have to give up that I don't want to give up to be there? What do I have to give up that I don't want to give up to be there? There's so many different.
For me, it would be my job, and like you've already quit your job, you walked out on it.
There was other
still
reasons.
Work my 9 to 5.
I don't want people to think that that's why I walked. No, there were other reasons, and like they were treating me poorly, and they, it was a part-time job. I wasn't working full-time. I can't work on full-time because I have to take care of Riley as well. So, like, it was part-time, and they weren't giving me the time off, which were my days off, to go do these things. They would call me in every day and then wonder why I, then call out on my regular days. Because it's still a passion of mine.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of time. You think that, going out and doing this, it takes 2 hours just to...
I wish.
Film everything, sure. But yeah, you do have all that setup and stuff. So yeah. In a content creating world...
So like a theme park video. Hang on. So like a theme park video, I could go to a theme park, but remember, it's open to the public. It gets busy here in Florida. We are like the tourist... we are the tourist attraction of America, when it comes to theme parks and, just attraction-based anything. So I could be going there to film a video that's only going to be 30 minutes long. I'll be there for 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes 6. Now, when we come into haunt season... and we're going to, different haunted attractions like Hollow Scream, Halloween Horror Nights.
Count up the hours.
I'll give you guys a 45-minute video for each event. But you want to know how long I was at the event for? HHN.
Open and close.
I'm gonna give myself 12 hours because I go during the day to film some stuff. So
okay.
I'm there from, let's say from 1 to 2 a.m. So 1 p.m., 2 a.m. normally. That's only because then I stay and Scream.
Yep.
Hollow Scream, I'm there from 5 p.m. till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., depending on when they close. But you guys are only seeing 45 minutes of that.
Yeah. And it's those little things that just show, we're going in and out of these houses. We're waiting in those 45-minute lines.
Yeah, but it's not even
with
like,
Express or things
there's
like that.
also stuff we're not always filming either.
Yeah.
There's a lot of behind the scenes to this.
Half the time we're just out there talking, and that's half of it in itself, just communicating with other people.
You actually filmed with me when I did I was doing an HHM video. We were talking about the bus.
Yeah.
And then I started filming. And you got to see the other side of... Because you watch my videos. So you got to see the other side of it where it's like, all right, he knows when he's getting to work and he knows when he's chit-chatting.
Yep.
Like the minute the camera comes on. And
because we still all have an agenda when we're going out, we're filming. Like, we may have fun with whatever we're doing. But we all have a video we're trying to complete. It's our project. It's like a deadline.
Some friends are photographers. Some friends are, cinematographers, some are just videographers, and some are just having fun. Some people really don't care about the value, which is fine. When I first started vlogging, I didn't give two craps about the value. I was having fun.
You're just
but I also
in
didn't
front
have
of the
the
camera.
money.
You
I
also
didn't have the money to make all the value, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, look, I can probably put up two different clips of an old video of his and an old video of mine.
I'll give you two. I'll give you two clips, and you can tell me. I'll give you one HHN video, and I'll give you another HHN, because those are the best comparisons.
Yeah,
because that's where I started, which is kind of funny. Like,
yep.
But just know that when the camera's off and you're not seeing it because the clip cuts, within that 2 seconds of that clip being cut, I probably was working with somebody for an hour.
And we're always doing
do
collabs too. Like while doing our own video, we may be just doing a collab in the same day. We're sitting there with one camera up here,
or
saying,
we're trying to be
guys.
normal and we're eating for once, because sometimes I forget to eat. And
we're walking around like
another big
zombies.
thing. Like, people think it's just all the breeze. Like we can just, oh, you guys, you guys, complain about your job so much, but yeah, 9 to 5 gets a lunch break.
Yeah.
If I take a lunch break, that's 2 hours of filming I lost.
Yeah.
And I said,
and especially at a theme park when you're waiting for that food, like
that's why I said 2 hours, because
you're just waiting for that food, and then you're eating, and then you're just sitting there because you don't want to get up. You're talking, you're filming
you don't
something.
Film yourself eating. Like, you really want to enjoy it. You're still a normal person. Like,
it's a privacy that's kind of
people,
a barrier.
Like, people don't understand that either. Like, well, you share so much of your life on the internet. Why can't I come up to you when you're eating a cheeseburger? Well, did I put it online that I was eating a cheeseburger?
It's your 30 minutes off.
That's my private
30
time.
minutes off the clock.
No, I'm not saying if you came up to me, I'm not saying if you came up to me, I would be rude to you and say, back off. No, I'd still talk to you and chat with you and take a picture if you wanted to, because I get that a lot.
But you may be more blunt.
I just may be more honest and be like, hey, can you let me maybe just finish this, because I've been trying to eat all day. I mean, there's times where I'm at a theme park for, like I said, 4 hours, and I don't eat till I'm done filming.
Yeah.
So maybe all I had that day was a protein bar and a coffee. So, like, think about that.
And another big thing that they don't think about sometimes is how fast do we need to get to something?
Correct.
Because a lot of B-roll shots that I may get, I'm standing inside of a scare zone at a haunt for over an hour and a half.
Or a nice roller coaster shot.
Yeah.
Like Velocicoaster, for instance.
You got to wait for a cycle.
Shot.
You got, like, there's so much
but the sun
going
gets
into
in the way.
Yeah.
There's different.
You have to cross obstacles, even at theme parks.
But I just want to point out that, like, if you do come up to me, you see me in public, don't be scared to come say, hey. I'm just saying that I may be a little more blunt, because that is, like, my private sit-down time. And, I mean, I live in kind of a smallish town. You would say. I mean, you're here. People come up to me all the time. I could be at Chili's, on a date with my girlfriend, and they'd be like, Journey with Josh? No way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is our Friday night date. This is the one we get every week. Like, we only get maybe once every week. But I'm not going to be rude because I'm here because of them.
And so that's kind of like the reason for this podcast, is just so that way we can understand, like, eventually you'll see music artists come on here and they can talk about how, like,
I don't even want to, I do want to know, but I'm saying I don't even want to know how they feel, because, like, they're a band. So they're being seen by more people in public than, like, me. I'm being seen online more.
You are more in their life than they actually have a friend sometimes. So as soon as they see you, they come up to you. Your friend.
That was going to be my next statement is,
how do you treat somebody that may be going through something, and that one time that you kind of shove them off, that could be...
So I'm actually going to say... You brought a good point. So, I treat everybody the same way. Even if you were rude to me. Like, if you interrupted a conversation because you wanted a picture, and I was talking to somebody, or I was talking on my camera, I will treat you the same way that the person, that I treated the person that was polite to me. I'm here because of you guys. You may just be so excited. And I'm not famous by no means, but I do have a decent following. People do notice me, but I'm not famous. I will never be famous. I hate that word. I'm not ever going to be famous. I'm going to be popular for what I do.
You'll be known. Your name will be known.
I'm never going to be famous.
See, and that's what I don't want that either. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be all over the paparazzi.
If I'm famous, you need to tell me, because I want to back off.
Yeah.
I'll never treat you with disrespect. I get DMs constantly, and I'm like, you can kind of hear I'm getting sad about it. I get DMs constantly that's saying that if you didn't upload today, I was gonna jump.
See, and that's crazy.
Unalive myself, like,
because that puts a lot of pressure on us to be even better. But are we being better for us or for them? And this job is for us.
I say for both. It makes me feel. So,
I want to inspire people.
It makes me feel so much better.
But I don't want to be the reason that they're alive. They need to have.
Correct, but also, if you're a reason that they're getting happier, then they can be happy with themselves.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the reason you're alive. You need to be alive for yourself.
Yeah.
But if I can make you happy so that you can be happy with yourself again, I'll do it. Yeah. But also, remember, I'm a normal human being with feelings. I was just telling you about a DM I got earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So YouTube does this bot purge, and sometimes I feel like they go a little overboard, and they actually take people who are subbed to me and unsub them. So they're not subscribed anymore. So
I've had that on Instagram, I think, even.
I get it on Instagram, too. So I went from 1,400 and like 15 subscribers. So I was at like, 14, 15. And in 48 hours, I dropped down to 1,396.
Yeah.
So when I hit my milestone, I was super excited. I was going through some stuff, personal stuff, and it just made me feel really good. I was like, this is my passion, but it's also my job. So it's like if you got a promotion at work, you put all your heart and soul and passion into your job, and you get a promotion, you're happy. But what if your manager came in and was like, hey, we're demoting you, actually?
Well, let me get kind of personal real fast with my job.
Right. Okay.
Because we just announced like 2 full-time spots, and then we had to take them away. And like that's a perfect example, right? Because you're promising someone a better pay or more hours or something like that, and then you're just like, we can't do that.
So when I dropped earlier today, like when we're filming this, well, yesterday, actually, it is 1:00 in the morning. So yesterday, I had made a post. I was like, well, we can say goodbye to this goal for now. And
you just proved another point of how, like, we're on top of things. It's 1:00 in the morning, and we're up here doing a podcast.
We're constantly going.
Like, our hours are endless.
People are about to wake up for work in a little bit,
and we're working.
And I got a DM, and she's like, I'm not trying to be rude because you're like a family friend. First off, don't tell me I'm a family friend when I hardly know you. I know your family, but that doesn't make me a family friend. I'm a content creator who you guys love to watch. But she was like, it kind of just sounds like you're begging for views and subscribers, but you chose YouTube as your career, so understand the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Quit begging for stuff. I'm not trying to be rude, but people aren't going to, subscribe to that kind of behavior. I'm not being rude. I'm a normal human being. I felt like I got demoted after I got promoted.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you guys and be like everything's sunshine and roses. That's the issue. A lot of content creators only show the positivity in their life.
Yeah, and so when other smaller ones try to come up, they're getting discouraged. Yep. They're like, I can't do this. I want to be like them. But, I mean...
They're not showing the negative in their life. So what I'm trying to say off of that is I'm never going to lie. If I'm feeling down, I'm going to post about it because I want you guys to know. If I don't post a video, there's obviously a reason why I didn't post a video. And I want you to know. I'm not going to be like, oh, I just felt lazy today. No, I'm going to be like, as I felt mentally drained.
And
I'm done.
It's not a publicity stunt either of saying, "Oh, I'm not releasing this because I don't feel like I should." It's more so of, I don't feel like this is what I need to be posting right now.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah,
is what I've been saying to myself.
What about that video that we did a while ago?
You mean the one that I was so ready to release?
Yeah,
I worked really hard on trying to get it prepared.
We had a whole film day for this challenge video that we did.
YouTube Survivor.
Yeah, and I'll play a clip because I have a lot of the footage still. So I'll play kind of a clip of what I mean by that.
It looked so good.
It was really well done. We had so many different camera angles. It was a
so
lot
let's
of prep work.
Let's go into videos that fail then with this
Yeah.
one. Let's go in with, no matter how long you film for, you could come on and be like, this video isn't it. So we'll go into that.
Yeah.
So we had different camera angles.
Yeah, we had different camera angles. We had mics set up. We had anything you could have possibly thought of.
You would have thought this was a real TV show at this park.
Yeah, it was very well organized. We had a trophy. It was like, we had everything set.
I put a lot of money into it, and this was before I was completely. This was before
you were still working.
This was before I was monetized.
Yeah.
So I was putting a lot of money into it. I put a couple $100 in.
This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
About maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I put a couple $100. Now that doesn't sound like a lot to you guys, but when you're only making $12 an hour,
yeah,
that was a work day for me
to
put into this video, and then have somebody ruin it.
Yeah.
So you can finish out.
It all comes down to everybody on the project has to be in it for the same reason, and you can't,
and everybody made it seem like they were until we were getting towards the end.
Until we got to the end, and none of this was scripted. Like, there was no script on who was winning this Survivor.
And I thought about posting it just because of the drama. I'll even blur out faces anymore because I don't talk to some of these people anymore in the same way like I used to. I thought about just posting it to show real life drama that happens with filming a video.
Yeah. It's just one of the failed things that we
failed,
did.
But sorry, I keep putting it off, but like I'm having things run through. It failed, but we're about to film another one, and I have it so organized, and there's gonna be more players.
See, and that's the thing. We had too many players that were close to each other, so. And I think it was a lot of friendliness, so it didn't seem as serious.
The issue was
they didn't take it as serious.
I had it played out perfectly, and I knew how I was going to do it, and people didn't like that I ended up switching up things to make it harder because they're like, well, you said couples couldn't be together, but then towards the end you put couples together. Yes, because I knew with the way it was going, it was going to be a couple versus each other at one point. So it was going to be one against one. So somebody was getting that money, but not the couple.
Yeah.
They were going to split up at that point. So that was my strategy. And I don't think they understood that because I don't let them read, not the script, but like the dialogue of the
because
video.
we're the directors of it, in a sense, of just how it goes on,
and they just didn't like how it was going, and
you're the contestant.
I think it was because it wasn't going in their favor, and that was the main point, though, was like, I didn't want you to know what was next. Like, what fun is that in knowing what's next for you in a game called Survivor? Like, I'm just confused. So, there was that, and then there was a few other things, and I'll let Josiah kind of lead off what happened and what ended pretty much a good day into a terrible day, because I want him to talk about it from his point of view, because from my point of view as like the main guy, I have a lot of feeling towards it. So I kind of want Josiah to talk about how maybe he feels about it. Yeah, and what happened.
So basically what happened, and it wasn't even my video by any means, but I'm the one filming it. I'm trying to make sure everything goes right too.
It was definitely mine and Josiah's kind of like collaboration a bit, because we talked about it more than anybody else did. Like I brought it to Josiah's attention, and I was like, I think I want to work with you on this. So
Yeah,
I'd say that was our first biggest collab.
We were definitely I was co-directing it just because there was a lot of ideas that I liked that maybe he didn't see while planning it.
Especially visually.
Yeah.
You gave me a lot of insight on visuals.
It was really cool and I mean, it was even one of my first projects working at like in a TV show manner. So even just the editing process as well and looking back at it and how we were able to do it, I think we could still release the video in a way that we edit it. But
I was waiting till we like film the new one, and then I was gonna put out like when drama hits. Like I want to say, I want to do something crazy because some of the contestants want to come back.
See, and I would like that, like a return of.
But some of the contestants aren't together anymore.
And that's the tough part.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this came down to, were we going to make a part 2? Because originally we were going to have the winner in the first video.
Well, because
we got to a section.
We
got to a section that,
and it was the final. It was the final.
It was what, like manhunt or scavenger hunt?
It was so fun. It was just hide and seek, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was just hide and seek.
It was just hide and seek.
We set boundaries.
Set boundaries for a reason.
We even walked over to the boundaries to make sure people
somebody
knew.
got a little cocky and decided they wanted to disappear.
The footage and stuff lasted probably about an hour or so before we actually, like, we called the park grounds
like
rangers to go find them, and they did. They brought him back, and we were all like, "What are you doing?"
He's like, "Well, I thought," and that's all he was saying.
And
he wanted to sit there and try to blame me to like the groundskeepers. He was like, "Well, we'll
definitely find the video and put it up. We'll blur out faces."
He was like, "Well, he said if I could not be found, I'd win $100. Yeah, but you had to stay in boundaries."
And when we were calling, we were like, "Game is over."
Like he would have won. He would have won if he would have just listened. When we said game over, if he would have came out, he would have won.
Like,
he was making it seem like
his girlfriend was even saying, "Come out," calling him, texting him.
But then they ended up getting mad at me.
Yeah. For letting it go on too long.
So did the other couple, though. The other couple was like, "Well, Josh, it's kind of your fault." How? I didn't say get lost. If it was scripted, maybe.
It was me, you, and James. We were all like, we split up. We had cameras. We were all doing our own
We literally
thing.
were filming it for reasons other than the content at that point. We were just making sure that
whatever went
there was
wrong,
proof of anything.
Yeah.
Like nobody could say that, well, Josh was...
We went back through the footage to even make sure that we were setting boundaries.
He was way out of boundaries. He wasn't even in the forest where we were. He was past that in that big open field, I think.
Yeah.
But it just proves that we were out there for about 8 hours.
A full 8 hours, yeah.
And
I think we got there at like maybe 10 because I think we got here around 9ish or 8:30.
And you guys saw nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's the terrible part. And I put so much money and effort, and you guys put so much effort in. Even the contestants put effort into it.
Yeah.
But to blame me for what happened is just insanity. Like I could have been canceled if I didn't catch my own ass. Beep.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. No, you're good. It makes people like, well, so when you see a good project come out, like, and
because I had to not get canceled myself. Like I had to make sure
Yeah.
people understood, because I knew they were going to call me out. They were ready.
Yeah.
They were ready to be like, well, Josh rigged this so he didn't have to give any money, and that's not what it was.
He showed the money. You had the money right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was $100 cash, which $100 may not be a lot for a show, but for a YouTube video,
Yeah.
on somebody who's making only like $13.
$100 is $100 now. Like that.
That's the new dollar bill, bro.
It is. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if a YouTuber, a small creator, was like,
Yeah.
you want to win $100 and all you have to do is this, I wouldn't be complaining.
No.
Because on the ride back home, I was discussing with somebody, and she's like, well, maybe next time, if you're going to charge people to do it, you need a bigger prize. And I'm like, well, yeah, if I'm charging people, then I put it all in a drawing box.
Yeah.
So it would be a bigger prize. But I'm forking out everything. I even was going to buy them lunch, but everybody wanted to disperse because
we got
they were
Kona
all mad at
Ice,
me.
though. We got hella Kona Ice.
I think I got Sunnies that night, too, for dinner. I was just hungry and upset.
I'll be honest. We talk about it all the time of how kind of irritating it is, just because we have people we collaborate all the time with, and half the time they're usually good, but
I think the issue is too, though, is trying to get people that, like, just subscribers to do these videos. Like, if I could have done a YouTube Survivor challenge,
dude,
could you imagine? Or like content.
I wanted a theme park scavenger hunt.
We could have done a content creator Survivor challenge.
See, and I think we could still do that.
Or like All American Race.
Yeah.
Go to different theme parks, have different clues.
Move the mic a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ayo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's such a cool idea.
Dude, I wanted
like All American Race, but content creators. Think about that.
We could do like an Orlando Amazing Race.
Ooh.
Like we set up, we go to different parking garages. Like they have different challenges they got to do. See, and that is another thing like that takes so much.
Like we're literally filming right now, and Josiah's like only 15 minutes, bro.
Yeah, I said only 15.
I don't know where we're at now, but
a little over 30.
We're literally doing a podcast and talking about next big thing. My stomach, I'm just like lounging right now. Yeah, I like to eat.
But this is kind of the life of content creators, and that's what I wanted to show.
We're creating content and talking about creating content right now. Like it's insane. I don't
ideas
it.
too. It's ideas because we're pushing out ideas, and I'll show you guys this.
It's crazy.
Like here, this is what you guys don't normally see, but in here I have just short films over short films written that I haven't scripted out or anything. And so a big thing is finding collaborators that will actually work with you
and don't care about numbers.
Yeah, or they don't care
like
about.
In my sense, like as a YouTuber, if you don't have a certain amount of subscribers, nobody's gonna work with you.
Yeah.
When I got a comma, people then started reaching out.
Yep.
I'm like, that's a dumb. My content hasn't changed.
No, that part.
Followers.
Yeah.
Pees me off.
Yeah, it definitely does, and because if you look at skill versus numbers, quality versus quantity,
bro,
it's mind blowing how many more people could be successful.
I feel my content deserves more than what it has.
So
I'm not even trying to be cocky.
I don't mean to end it shorter than what I want or than what it's going, but I would say like the main thing that I would end out here with would be just collaboration. I would say this would basically be a whole conversation about collaborating and different.
Also, just be you. Be yourself when you go to meet that collaborator.
Yeah. Because you don't want to partner up with somebody who is completely different than you.
But don't try to act different to be cooler around them. Be yourself. If you're a nerdy, kind of weird person, be that nerdy.
Because your content's going to change as well with that.
If you're a very...
And your subscribers will see that.
So, I'm going to say this in a nice way possible, and then we can end out. If you're a cocky individual like me, I'm very cocky, but I'm also like, I know my self-worth. Be that cocky person.
Yeah.
If people don't like it, well, then they're not going to like it. But I didn't get where I'm at because I let people walk all over me. I got where I'm at because, I have self-wealth, and I feel very cocky about myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was just discussing it on my video for my second channel about like how my friend was like, yeah, when I first met you, I thought you were cocky as all get out. And I'm like, I was, and I still am.
Yeah.
But I have stuff to show.
Yeah.
So
I can definitely be a cocky person when it comes to that. I say my film stuff is crisp as can be.
Subpar.
Dude, no, but honestly, I think my stuff is
I just told
subpar
you.
to
No, I
other
just
things.
told you that
And
thing you just
I-
posted on YouTube. It was like 3 minutes. I was like, bro,
dude, I'll be honest,
that was some of the best
video,
stuff.
and I can honestly say this, that was a random video. I didn't script out or anything. Like it was off the top of my brain, just kind of went in and did it. And it's all for testing purposes. Like
Right.
half of my stuff that I
You had,
post,
like a new mic or something.
yeah, it's the mic that I'm using right now for the podcast. I had it all set up, and I have some behind the scenes stuff, and eventually we'll get to there. But a lot of this is kind of just for practicing. And I mean, for collaborating, look,
right. Boom.
he just made a podcast, and hasn't done a studio
Yeah.
podcast yet. So we are all learning right now. Like this is a whole learning setup. It's nothing good at all. And I think
No,
that's
it's
the
just
biggest
kinda
part. You're
chill.
always
Yeah.
learning. And I don't think being by yourself is not ideal. You always have to have a collaborator.
Bro, even Joe Rogan's still learning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to think of
Yeah.
somebody like he
Dude,
said himself.
if you
he's
look at
still
all the
learning.
comedians on TikTok, like I know half of y'all have comedians on TikTok, whether it be Matt Rife or
Theo Von.
Theo Von, Shane Gillis, like anybody that you have on TikTok that is working at a comedy club, they didn't just start
Nope.
at that number.
And they're still learning.
They're still learning.
Kevin Hart still has some failed moments where his
Yeah.
jokes are not good.
Yeah, and it's just
But I'm just saying, so like even those big people,
yeah,
I-
there is never a fully successful point. I think your definition of success is as far as you're going to
your
go.
success.
Yeah,
It is what
it's
it
what
is.
you define success as, and whether that be making $1 million over some stupid song you just made, or you put in a $500,000 budget film and just and you just kind of go with it. You push all that, and then finally you learn
Exactly.
all of that. You just
Exactly. I don't think you'll ever be fully learned. if that makes
right,
sense.
and so I don't think there's ever a successful point for me. Honestly,
Not for me.
I don't think there's a successful point for me.
Nope.
I don't see success in my near future. I don't see it at all. I think I can have
I see it for
successful.
you.
I
see
think
it for you.
I think I can have successful films.
Yeah.
As a human working and doing stuff, I don't think I can be successful
okay.
enough,
Gotcha.
because there's definitely a lot of
I know
things
what
that
you're
I can
saying, though.
learn that I could do now, but I don't think my success would be what I would want it to
No,
be.
I get now I get what you're saying. Like, you know, you got stuff in the way right now to be completely successful.
Oh yeah.
But even I do. Like even though I'm a content creator working full time as a content creator, life sucks. Like I enjoy life, but I'm saying like life sucks. It's real, you know.
Yeah, we all have obstacles, and learning to collaborate is by far one of the biggest skill sets you're gonna need.
But I think that's gonna end it for me. I don't have much more to say.
Yeah,
So it's just however you want to end it.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say either, except for just if you're looking into becoming a content creator, understand there are obstacles that you're gonna hit as soon as you
Don't try to be perfect.
Yeah, don't go for like the largest equipment. Don't
Yeah, but
like
not even that.
You start at the beginning. You start out.
See, I say I don't have things to say. Then I think
We were
about it.
talking
So,
about the
like-
9 to 5 earlier, and how like we have all of that.
But I'm saying like I used to try to be so perfect with my videos. So if I like messed up saying something, I would restart a whole clip.
Yeah,
And I'm a real person. So if I stutter, you're gonna hear my stutter. Or if like I'm just trying to have a good time and goof off, you're gonna see
we don't
that.
have a script when we go into theme parks.
Right.
Like
Which
we may
I
have.
used to try. I used
we
to
have
try.
we have our scripts in a sense, like compared to what we're doing. So
I have
say
a-
like
I have
for
an
horror
agenda.
nights.
I have an agenda. Never a script anymore because it was just too stupid on my part. But I have an agenda.
And it takes a while. It takes a while to perfect a script too. But when you're out and about vlogging something that can happen sporadically, you can't have a script. And I don't think any video will be perfect. either.
No. Even my most perfect videos are trash.
Dude, and
you're trash
you'll be
in a sense, like
worst self-critic.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Trash isn't like me.
Yeah.
Like that's how I see it.
Yeah.
But it's probably one of my best videos.
You can't judge yourself, and that's why I say collaborate, because like what I'm saying is not that good of a film project. This last one I just put out, the Selfless Beg. He's saying, or the Standstill Beg. I'm sorry. He is saying that it was wonderful. It was amazing.
It was great.
But for me, I don't see it that way. And that's because I know it was for testing purposes.
Right.
But for the average eye in watching a video,
exactly,
they don't see that.
That's the thing. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna start closing out. I'm getting the little red dingy thing on my camera.
My eyes are. I've been up since 5:30.
We'll just do a little segment of us sleeping.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. We got our 5 hours of sleep in this now.
Yeah.
With a near-death experience.
Oh, God.
If you want to know more about the near-death experience, I would say go check out Journey with Josh and a Realm of
the Dead.
Realm of the Dead.
Paranormal podcast. That's a full name.
So
it's a mouthful.
It was a pleasure being
you for
over here
having me.
in Journey with Josh's studio to record this podcast.
Hey, if you ever want to come back, open space.
We will definitely be collabing a lot more now that we kind of have the time and
definitely haunt season. I think we've always talked about it, and for some reason we never do it. But I think this
because
is the
we get
year.
so busy.
I think this is the year, though.
I'm telling you,
we make time.
Us content creators get busy.
We make time.
Yeah,
we make time this year for sure.
We'll make time.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I got some ideas.
That is all for today. Thank you again. Everything will be linked for him underneath in the description. But any last final words?
Just thank you for having me. Live life to the fullest. Be yourself. Be who you want to be. Achieve your own goals. And don't let people drag you down, because you are you and they are they.
Yeah. Well, have a great one, and we will see you guys in the next podcast. Peace out, guys.